Reimagining HR in the Eclectic New Age from Westbury Publishing Limited, Nottingham, UK. He has taught for more than 4 decades subjects such as HRM, organizational behavior, and other management related courses at the postgraduate level, and has a vast research and training experience. He is a recipient of the Best Professor in Management in HRM. Sir has also received a global award from Work Education Congress in the year 2012 and received a Lifetime Achievement Award in the year 2020. He earned a place in the Who is Who in the World in the year 2012 and a position in IBC's Top Education in the year 2014. He has also received Icon HR Dronacharya Award in the year 2018. He is a certified mentor of management education from the Global Management Teachers Consortium. Is a fellow member of World Business Institute, Melbourne, Australia, and fellow member of International Society Management, and fellow member of Academy of Global Business Advancements, and an associate member of Society for Interdisciplinary Business Research, and senior member of Global Science and Technology Forum, Singapore, and International Economic Development Research Center, Hong Kong. So I welcome you, sir, for today's session. And the session
Thank
topic
you.
is
Thank you.
understanding about OD to keep the organizations healthy and viable in a VUCA world. You welcome you, sir.
Okay. Dear participants, FDP attendees, this is just to tell you my session was originally scheduled for Friday. It got advanced today because of some exigency, some contingency somewhere. So that is the reason as to why you encounter my countenance once again in quick succession. I think I had a session a day for yesterday. Again, I'm having it now. The theme that I have chosen for this is understanding OD. OD stands for organization development. Some people call it as organizational. Anything is okay. To keep the organizations healthy and viable in a VUCA world. VUCA is an acronym. It stands for V is for volatile, U is uncertain, C is complex and complicated, and A is ambiguous. The world that we are going to be in now, the 21st century, the third millennium, the third decade, year 2021, is going to come under VUCA world. Now, it is only going to raise a question and is going to answer as effectively and successfully as possible as to how are we going to make sure that the organizations are hale and healthy. Think of their health. They may be enviable, but are they sustainable? Are they viable? Do they gain again and again in the marketplace? Do they achieve marketplace success? That is it. Viability is all about that. Sustainability, enviability, and viability, be it commercial or financial, economic, or otherwise. It has to be viable. Just because the idea, the organizational theme is enviable, so people are going to envy you, we feel jealous about you, that is no good enough. You have to be in a position to survive. Then you have to thrive. You have to gain. Much before that, you have to remain in the marketplace. That is going to be the one. So generally, I have coined a small phrase like thing. What is OD? OD is OC for OE. OD is OC for OE. That is, OD is object development. It is basically OC. Organization change program, change strategy, change intervention, change effort. OC. Why do you indulge in these change efforts or change interventions? Because we have an exalted, an elevated, a supreme, a sacrosanct, so to say, a superior goal called as OE. OE stands for organizational efficacy. Psychology, we use the word efficacy. We call it as effectiveness. We call it as productivity. We call it organizational excellence, so to say. So that's how it is. What you find on the screen is OD is OC for OE. Org development is org change program for org effectiveness. Now, OD, in another way, looking at a different perspective, it is going to represent a set of a group of behavioral science interventions, a repertoire, a reservoir, a pool of interventions we are going to have. These interventions are basically aiming at OI. What is OI? Organizational improvement or betterment. That is, we have a science called as a behavioral science. In fact, there are several behavioral sciences: management theory, organ theory, organ behavior, psychology, sociology, social work, for that matter, anthropology, cultural anthropology. All these subjects, disciplines are called as behavioral sciences. When
Sir, excuse me, the slide is not moving, sir.
slide is
Not moving, still in the first slide only.
now I have moved. See, this is it. See, okay.
So still in the title slide only it is showing.
Huh?
Still it is in the title slide only it is showing. It is not moving. First slide only it is showing.
No. How come? Now it is now you see over. Okay.
No, sir. Still it is in the first slide only.
Yeah, how else?
Or else shall I operate from my side if you close the screen?
What is it?
Shall I operate from my side if you close
Okay,
the
that's
screen?
better. Fadafat, why waste of
Sir,
seconds?
you just close the screen.
Operate from yours. Okay, do it. You are doing it?
Yes, sir, I'm doing. Sir, is the screen is visible?
Now let me stop sharing them.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now is it visible, sir? Anything is there on the screen?
No, okay, double. Now, resume slideshow. Okay. Now, are you able to see now?
Sir, you stopped sharing?
Okay, started sharing. Okay.
Then I
Are
will
you able
share.
to see?
I will share. Let me share.
Okay. Okay then. Okay, what is this?
Is the screen is coming, sir?
Now you share it.
No, it's not coming.
I have stopped sharing. I don't know. What is this? Shall I attempt again? One more? Okay, that's it. Okay. No, I should learn.
Sorry, is the screen is
Okay.
it's
Slide
coming,
is
sir?
there. I closed my slide sharing. Okay. Ready? You give me a second.
Sir, is the screen is visible now?
Yes, a second.
Is the slide is moving?
Yes. Bus. Earlier, but that's it. Next. Be with me. Next. Okay. This is what I was referring to. ODE is a set of behavioral science interventions for the purpose of bringing about an improvement, a betterment in organizational performance. That is, it is dedicated to improving the organizations. When I say organizations, we are more interested in the people side. the human side, the social side. That is, the people are going to be the fulcrum. That is, we are going to apply the theory part of it, the practice part of it, the application part of it, of a discipline called as planned change. Because we don't want our change efforts to be quixotic, whimsical, fanciful, one-sided, or those things which are disorganized, unorganized, or ill-organized. We want them to be well thought out, well thought about, well thought through plans. Such a planned change we are interested in. Next slide. Next slide. Change. Now, there are several challenges, several threats that you have to deal with deftly, adeptly, and adroitly. What are the challenges that these organizations nowadays in a VUCA world are facing? That is, there are threats, there are challenges for effectiveness, for efficiency, for profitability. There are turbulent environments. There is competition which is cutthroat, intense, which is neck to neck. There are demands that are being made with the customers, which are varied, which are multiple, which are many. So there is a constant challenge to maintain the fit, the best fit or congruence among the organizational dimensions or elements. You have task, structure, people, technology, process, culture, climate. All these things have got to be aligned. That is going to be one more thing. That is, it is a huge ask. It is a big task, a daunting task. Like all these multiple challenges to be met is going to make the organizations healthy, viable, enviable, sustainable in today's VUCA world. Is the crux of the theme that I am going to be discussing with you today. Now, next slide. Next slide. Now I talked about organizational demands and challenges. What about the individual challenges that you are facing as an individual employee, as an associate, as an officer, as an executive, as a functionary? So that's all. Now, for example, when I'm working for an organization, I want to find satisfaction, gratification, some sort of fulfillment on the job, away from the job, of the job, intrinsic, extrinsic. So that's all. That's going to be one thing. Now, while I am finding satisfaction in the workplace through the work, I have to fight obsolescence. My skill sets are getting obsolete, outdated, outmoded, redundant. So that is going to be one thing. How am I going to catch up? How am I going to upgrade? How am I going to stay relevant? That is going to be a question. So my knowledge has got to be updated. My skills have got to be upgraded. So retraining is required. Constant catching up is required. This is going to be one thing. I want to have my self-concept intact. I want dignity. I want decency. I want civility. I want demeanor to be left unscathed. That is, maintaining dignity. How do you do it? When you are going to pursue the ordered goals, I don't want my dignity to be compromised. I want to achieve some sort of a connection with other human beings. That's called a human connectedness. I'm not a machine. I'm not a cog in the wheel. I'm not impersonal. I am personal. I am super personal. I am human. I want to become humane by connecting myself with the other stakeholders at the workplace and away from the workplace. And simple survival is not just the goal. I want to thrive, not simply survive. That's it. That is, how am I going to ensure that I'm not going to lose my job in the light of maybe Corona? Before Corona, whatever I was, during Corona and after Corona, also I want to have the same state of affairs in my social life, my personal life, my family life, my organizational life. That's how it is. It's a major challenge. So there are cutbacks, there are layoffs, people are on the bench, people are losing their jobs, people are losing their livelihoods, in which case old jobs are being destroyed at an alarming alacrity, accelerating pace. So knowledge work is no longer going to be the blue-collar workers. It is going to be the white-collar workers. Nay, not even white-collar. It is going to be nowadays more and more gold-collared workers are joining the workforce. Because knowledge work is replacing muscle work. More and more technocrats, BTech MBAs, IIT and IIM background people are more nowadays. That is, when you have got to face an environment which is enormously daunting and demanding. So such a present, such a future is going to be a huge challenge for the organizations. Next slide. Next slide. Next one. Next one. Yeah. So ultimately, the bottom line is searching for earlier one. Sixth one. Slide
Yes, sir.
6. Yes. Searching for and coming up with strategies to help people and organizations cope, adapt, survive, and even prosper in these vexing times is going to be a big task. So OD is one of the solutions. The topic I'm going to be speaking on is going to be the panacea, the all cure for all the challenges and threats and problems that have just now enumerated. What is OD? OD is a process for teaching the people how to solve problems, resolve them, dissolve them, and solve them, and to take advantage of opportunities. When the opportunities come and knock at your door, you have to open the door. If nothing is forthcoming, you have to create an opportunity yourself, and you have to learn how to do that better and better and better over a period of time. Next, 7th slide. Slide 7. Yes, that is. What does OD focus on? It is not going to engineering aspects, the mechanical aspects, the machine focus aspect, the technological aspects that are going to be more important. They are secondary or even tertiary. The human side, the social side, the people side, that is going to be more important. We want it's going to be high touch and high tech, such type of a situation. That is, we are going to emphasize all the social processes, all the human processes that happen, that take place in the organizations. So there's a dual focus. We are going to take two things into account. One is going to be developing or improving or bettering the organizations. And second thing is we want to develop the individuals to go, to grow, to glow further and further. That is going to be the unique strength of OD, the dual focus. We are not going to ignore anybody. It's a win-win situation, win-win strategy, win-win effort. That is going to be one. So it is possible for the people within an organization to collaboratively, collectively, cooperatively, in a balanced way. We want to manage the culture of that organization in such a way the goals, the objectives, the purposes of the organization are attained, and also at the same time the human values of individuals within the organization, be it democratic values, humanistic values, optimistic values, terminal values, or instrumental values, which are dozens and dozens. Those things are going to be also realized. 8th slide. 8.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, what do these OD programs, OD solutions, OD strategies, OD interventions, they are going to do to you? They are going to energize the talents of the organizational members in the pursuit of your own self-goals, in making the organizations more efficacious, more successful, okay, more effective, and making their quality of working life. Dr. Pramada Srinivas was talking about that. So how are you going to make work-life balance and quality of work life more satisfying, more gratifying, more fulfilling, more, because they are all more demanding also in nature. So what does OD do? OD is going to channelize, canalize, streamline the intelligence, the experience, the exposure, the expertise, the exposition, the knowledge, the creativity, imaginativeness, inventiveness of the orchestra members in a systematic manner in all the participative programs, where these people are going to actively, effectively, with enthusiasm, with energy, they are going to engage themselves, motivate themselves, participate in that. Members are going to find solutions to the most pressing problems. They're called gnawing aches, we call them. A powerful formula is the only powerful formula that I am going to suggest. Next one. 9th one. That's okay. There is, of course, behavioral sciences have got a theory component, a practice component, a application component, extension component, training component, consulting component, like any other discipline like management. So what they do, we don't want to do anything in a hit or miss, trial and error, sink or swim. Okay, manner. We want to do it in a pakka way. That is, we want a coherent strategy, a consistent strategy, a foolproof strategy. That strategy is going to be called as OD strategy. All the ingredients that are required as necessary preliminaries, preconditions. We call them as sine qua non in Latin language. That we want to do it before we are going to implement these strategies. In fact, to tell you, in the 1950s, I was born 1956. Just before that, behavioral scientists have steeped in the lore and technology, the theory and technology of group dynamics. From the group dynamics, which is a component of OD, we have come up with a discipline called as OD, which is an emerging, evolving, maturing, transforming, blooming and blossoming khatarnak discipline called as OD. This is going to be one thing. So this knowledge is going to be applied in OD to improve the team function through team interventions, inter-team interventions, structural interventions. So many types of interventions are going to be there to manage the intergroup relations to make them more effective, more successful, more gratifying, more satisfying to all the members of the organization. So this is going to be extended to the social processes, the human processes, the communication, the social process, motivation, leadership, all these things, group development, team building, they're all social processes. Collaboration, cooperation, coordination, timing, balancing, integrating. So these are all human processes. For example, job enlargement, job enrichment, workplace reforms, workforce reforms. Okay, all these things, autonomous work teams, high performance work system, they're all human processes. They're all social processes. Wherever the element of human being is there, they become a social process. Okay, now, for example, we want to move away from tasks like job design, work design, job redesign, work design, all these things. So, and creation of semi-autonomous work teams, structure the organization, conflict resolution, strategy formulation, strategy implementation. So many things are there. In all these things, this OD comes into picture. OD is all pervasive. OD is multidisciplinary. OD is capable of being applied at multiple dimensions, multiple disciplines, multiple types of organizations, both public sector and private sector. So, because it's one of the best strategies as on date, take it from me, as on date. I'll give you examples right now from corporate bodies corporate from India and abroad. Just wait for a few minutes. OD is one of the best strategies for coping with, don't say cope up, coping with the rampant changes occurring in the marketplace and society. It is not necessarily for business organizations. Even for NGOs also you can apply. In municipality you can apply. In Great Hyderabad Municipal Corporation you can apply. Panchayat you can apply. Anywhere you can apply. That's how it is. OD is the most preferred improvement strategy of the 21st century. Next one. Next one. Yes. What is OD? OD, to recapitulate, is a systematic process. Systematic, if not scientific, it's a systematic process for applying behavioral science principles and practices in organizations to increase the effectiveness of both the individuals and also the organization. Now, here, the focus is going to be in organizations and making them function better and better and better through an overall systemic change. It is not only systematic change, the entire system, all the subsystems, all the components, all the ingredients of the organization are going to be the focal point for such change efforts. The orientation is action, action, action. It is not a contemplation, it's an action. It is not dream, it's an action. It is not going to be an abstraction. It is an action commitment. That's how you have to understand. Achieve the results as a consequence of all the planned activities happening in a series of step by step, stage by stage, phase by phase, focal activities that you are going to make them under your focus. Now, next one is going to be, the setting is not going to be laboratory. The setting is not going to be society. Setting is not going to be something, an utopian world. The setting is going to be real organization. The problems are real. The world is also real. Then only it is going to become OD. OD is not hypothesis. OD is not hypothetical. OD is not imaginary, because the target groups are human beings, the human processes, the social processes, the human side, the people side. Okay, and that's how it is going to be talking more about humans. Now, it's an organization improvement strategy. I told you before. It's all about how people in the organization function and how to get them to function better. That is going to be the main question is going to address. OD is based on knowledge from behavioral science, as I told you. That's psychology, psychology, sociology, anthropology, system theory, organ behavior, OT, organ theory, and management. You all know about it. All these are behavioral sciences because they explain you to understand, like OB discipline, OB subject. You are going to have all these things to explain, to make us aware of, to become aware of, and then to project, to predict, to forecast, and also to regulate and control the behavior. That's why we call them as behavioral sciences of the human beings. Next one, 11th one. People are coming and joining. Okay, OD pack here. Let us understand the nature of the people who call themselves as a new breed of professionals called as OD professionals, OD practitioners, OD change agents. They are consultants. They are trained in the theory and technology, the practice and application of OD with the knowledge form. With the knowledge from, not from the underlying behavioral science. I told you that. What are OD programs? They are long term. It's not going to be fixed variety of solutions that we are going to be suggesting. It is going to be long drawn. It is going to be happening in a perennial way. That's how it is going to be. Long lasting, durable, perennial. We only know when we have started the OD program. We don't even know when we are going to stop it. That's the type of a program that you are going to have called OD programs. And they are going to begin. The leader is going to identify an undesirable situation. A drop in the production, a drop in the productivity, a loss of morale, so to say. Teamwork is not there. Infighting is happening. Communicational breakdown, there's a gap. All these things are going to tell the top management something is going RE, something is going ulta, something is going amiss, something is not happening in the manner that should be happening. That's how it is. And something is amiss. What do? The organization change the OC's overall game. Our strategy includes a series that's ODs.
Second row, right side, second row.
To achieve an outcome that moves the organization towards its goals. When you are going to have major families of OD interventions, there are as well 14 major families. Under each family, you are going to have a dozen interventions. So you can understand how many change programs you can type. You can have under the OD umbrella, a rich repertoire, rich reservoir, a pool of knowledge that you are going to have, and then you can use it. Next one. Let's see. So what are to sum it up briefly at this stage, the two major goals of OD programs are to improve only repetition, reiteration, without there being any redundance. And let me tell you, to improve the function of the individuals, the teams, and the total organization at all levels. Micro level, macro level, meso level, everywhere it's going to be going in for improvement. To teach the organ members how to continuously improve their own function. We want to improve our own functioning. Functioning which is going to be encapsulating the task, the structure, the technology, the people, the process, the culture, the climate. So it will deal with the gamut of people problem and work system problem in organizations. Next one. So now my present. Now, some of the conditions, for example, the top management must be sensitized to some of these happening. A poor morale, poor productivity, poor quality, interpersonal conflict, intergroup conflict, unclear goal, no goal clarity, role clarity, work assignment clarity, there's going to be role conflict, and these things are happening. Inappropriate leadership is happening. Styles are not going to be suited to the situation. That's how it is. They are not situational. They are not contingent. Such styles we don't want. There is poor team performance. Inappropriate of the structure. Structure में कुछ गड़बड़ है. Job design, work design, organizational design, or department design. There's a problem with regard to that. It's not suiting. It is not in sync with the demands of the environment. Inadequate alignment among the org, strategy, structure, culture, process. कुछ गड़बड़ है. उल्टा पुल्टा है. That's how it is. OD can improve the situation where individuals, the groups or the teams and organizations are not realizing the potential. The day you realize you have the potential, you have the promise, but you are not able to use it, converting the potential to reality is going to be the crux of leadership. Then leadership has to chip in. Now, they are going to be coming in with a set of OD intervention through an OD professional. Next one. Quickly, I don't want to, I can spend one full day on this, but now let me just say, what is OD? Before I take you through more dynamic aspects of OD called as team, because I had originally a separate session, but now that is later on, we have removed it. OD is a long-term effort, I told you. It is led by, supported by top management. Say, led by, who should take the lead? It is going to be something which is going to trickle down, percolate, permeate. It is not something which is going to bubble up from the shop floor level. Nobody is ever going to start OD program from the ground, at the ground. Supervisory level, workman level, it's not going to happen. So because it is something, the support that you have to be given, that it's not simply going to be giving a budget. It is going to be psychological, emotional, involvement, identification. That's how it is. In an ambivalent way, unconditional, unqualified, unfettered manner. It's going to be unencumbered way, unreservedly. You are going to provide support, and that's going to be there. Not for one day or 1 week. It has to be there as long as the OD efforts are going to subsist and persist. Through what do you do? Through what do you do all these things? Through visioning. You try to come up with a broad, vibrant, coherent, consistent picture. We call it a vision document, a vision statement. So through empowerment, you make the people feel powerful. That is going to be empowerment, sadhikarata, learning, problem-solving process. All these things are important in OD. It is an ongoing one. As I told you, it goes on and on and on and on. And it's going to call for collaborative. You labor together. That is work together. You cooperate, operate together. Such a management. When you do such a thing, you are going to keep the culture organization at the top, at the pinnacle. So that is going to be one culture. And when you are doing this, you are going to especially focus on the culture, the intact work teams. What are intact work teams? Intact work teams are going to be those teams which are always going to be held together, bound together. They don't disappear. Something, a department, a division, a section, a stage, a phase, a project, a unit, which is going to be there, which is good. You are going to see each other on a day-to-day basis. There's intact work team. For example, Department of Management Studies of Mahatma Gandhi University is an intact work team. Commerce Department, intact work team. You are going to focus on the culture of all these things. But you don't do it on your own because you don't have the background, you don't have the experience, you don't have the exposure, you don't have the exposition, you don't have the perspectives, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the insights into all these behavioral sciences. So you take the help of the consultant facilitator. He facilitates the change program. He is going to don the role of a consultant. He puts on multiple caps. He uses the theory, the technology, not the myth and the mythology of what? Applied behavioral sciences, including action research. You do your act, later do the research. You do the research, and then you redo the action in a refined manner. Next one, now we'll change the game. Next, that's it. So, to virtually to know the entire OD field, the entire textbook that is written by different authors on OD can be captured in terms of just 2 slides. What the one? OD focuses on culture and processes. Done. Significantly, OD encourages what? Collaboration, cooperation, coordination among and between all the leaders and members. The culture and the process. What do? Teams of all kinds of participate, particularly important. Whether it's going to be a command group or it is going to be task force, it is going to be such a group which is created for the facts, a fact-defined group, temporary, permanent, all types of considerations. All types of teams are going to be primarily important. We don't prefer one at the cost of the other, because it is going to focus on the human side, the people side, the social side, and it is going to intervene in technological aspects and structured aspects coincidentally. That's it. While doing this, you touch something, you try something, and you tinker, you tamper, so to say, in a positive sense. Then automatically you're going to be trampling on something else. That's how it is. It's going to bother not just about one particular department, the entire system, the entire organization, or the corporate body, or the body corporate, or for that matter, entire group of institutions that come under one umbrella, so to say, a conglomerate, an agglomerate. A multinational corporation can also be the focal point for ODA. That's how it is, because it's going to be problem solving is more important. Decision making is more important in any organization. We are going to involve the people, engage the people, invite the people, ask for this sort of maybe ideas from them, alternates from them, options from them, solutions from them, and the pros and cons of a given option from them. This topic. Next one. 14 first. So here in the process, ODA practitioners end up as facilitators, collaborators, friends, philosophers, co-learners, co-developers in the client system. Client system is the company that is going to invite you as a consultant. But an overarching goal, as I told you before, again and again, client system should be able to dissolve the problem on your own. I'm not simply going to give you fish when you feel hungry. I'll teach you how to catch fish, how to do the angling, so that you don't come to me again and again and again. That's what exactly. I'm going to make you Bharat, something like the self-reliant, self-dependent, everything is self-contained. That's how it is going to be. I teach you the skills. I impart the necessary competencies. You learn on a continuous basis with my help. I am your friend, philosopher, guide, mentor, augmenter, fermenter, whatever. And I am going to be there. You are going to do self-reflection, self-introspection, self-perusal, soul-searching. So we call them as self-analytical methods. When you do that, you are going to do the improvement process, the end, the goal, the objective as an ongoing process goes on and on and on and on. In the context of a constantly changing, a constantly demanding, a constantly daunting environment. That's how it is going to be. You rely on actions. It's a big topic. One can teach for one full week. Action is such that stop there. OD is going to take a developmental view that people can be developed, promotable, they are trainable, developable. You can end up as a bull. You can hit the bullseye over a bit of time, because I am the OD consultant. And I always attempt to create a win-win situation, a win-win solution, a win-win strategy. Everything is going to be, because this is a standard practice of OD. We don't want anybody to end up as a defensive loser. We don't want to make anybody as a triumphant winner. All people, all people should be happy, and you should also be there as one of the stakeholders. That is going to be the theme and the standard practice. Next one, please. Now, smaller sentences. Yes, I don't want to elaborate. Now, just to give you a feel for the field of OD intervention, was a OD consultant, when I come to the organization, depending upon the need and necessity, the relevance, the importance, the significance, and the usefulness, I am going to apply any one or more or many more of these 14 major families. Diagnostic activities are there, team building activities are there, intergroup activities are there, survey feedback activities are there, educational activities, training activities, technical activities, structural activities, techno-structural activities. Next one, I don't elaborate. Time permits, will come back. Process consultation. Nowadays, a new breed of professors are coming to be. They call themselves, they claim themselves, they crow about, I'm a process consultant. I tell you what exactly are the gaps in the process, overlaps in the process. This communication process, leadership process, communication process, team building process, Production is a process. Management is a process. Anything is a process. That's how it is. There's a human body, digestive system, reproductive system, nervous system. So digestion is a process. Gulping, eating, everything is a process. That's how it is. A step by step, a stage by stage, a phase by phase, a series of activities ultimately coming up with an output, an impact, a result, a bottom line, a market share, something like that. Green Dodi, third party peacemaking, coaching, counseling, life planning, career planning, all these things. Blah, blah. Okay, next one. Next one. 19. Okay, planning and goal setting, I told you. Or transformation. Ultimately, the khatarnak. For example, culture change, TQM, Six Sigma, all these things. For example, creating high performance, high involvement, work team, work systems. All these things, they come under organizational transformation activities, OT activities. Next one. So you may be wondering, sir, who is going to practice all these things? Just to give you an idea, there's so many commonplace nowadays. Microsoft you take, these are all aimed at behavioral changes and operational changes. Cisco is there. It has initiated changes to substantial structural interventions, job design, job redesign, work redesign, creating, as I told you, job enrichment programs, job enlargement programs, job rotation programs, creating new reforms at the workplace in terms of the design part, the structure part, who should do what, why, when, where, the pacing, the placing, the spacing, okay, like that. That is going to be called as structural changes. Dell, for that matter, I'm using Dell right now. Dell is going to focus Six Sigma strategy as an OD intervention, zero defects in their operations. So OD. Toyota is no exception. Hyundai, we call it Hyundai, is also going to be no exception because they go to the highest form of OD intervention called as the cultural intervention. For example, cultural change. Of all the changes that you want to bring about in any organization, not alpha, not beta, but gamma changes. Not first order, but second order changes. Not tinkering something, tampering something, but it's going to be entire organization is going to be like this. So next one. Some more example. Wipro has used it. ONGC has used it. Infosys has a broad base of body interventions like leadership development programs. See, for example, as modest as coaching and mentoring and counseling to training and education to advanced body interventions like, as I told you just now, it is going to be cultural transformation is also going to be possible. Somebody uses psychometric testing like MBTI, 360 degree feedback is also an example. Performance appraisal, personality assessment, all these things, anything to do with personality development, individual development, supervisory development, executive development, management development, all come under OD. Next one. That's it. But ultimately, whether it's going to be Wipro or Infosys, or it's going to be Cisco or Dell or any organization, multinational corporation, transnational giant, okay, anything, a global corporation, the basic purpose, the importance is going to be only one of these 4 or 5. So we want to increase our profitability, profit-making ability. We want to have a competitive advantage and a competitive edge. We want to enhance the quality of our products, of the services that we render, that we make and manufacture and market, that we perpetually improving organization. When the good is not good enough, make yourself better. Better is also not good enough, make it the best one. Then best itself is not good enough, better the best. That's how it is. Don't compete with anybody. The competition you are going to have is with yourself, like Sachin Tendulkar. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm competing with myself. That is a statement given by Sachin Tendulkar. That's how it is. You meet the competition, beat the competition, but become the competition, remain the competition. That is how you have to look at competition. That's how it is. And next one. Okay. Now let us talk about. So, OD is ultimately, I can talk about 14 major families of interventions, the subfamilies, individually, independently, one day, one intervention. But we don't have the time, we don't have the luxury. So what do? I only focus on OD is mostly all about creating a successful team. Sir, when you say successful team, what do you think are the characteristic hallmarks, the attributes, the characteristic hallmarks and attributes? These are the things. For example, if you say if a team is a successful one, an effective one, a productive one, now first understand you should have to have a clear goal, an exalted goal, an elevating goal, a superior goal, a superordinate goal, a supreme goal that you must have accomplished. First thing. Second thing is going to be the structure that you're going to have must be result driven, design driven. The members that you're going to have in the organization, all the team players, team builders, team leaders, associates, operating at all levels and layers and cadres and classes and rungs and echelons and hierarchy, they must be competent, capable, able, competent, and they are going to be having all the quite range of capacities. Their commitment is unfulfilled, unified, unconditional, unencumbered. That's how it unreserved, so to say. That set of assiduous, sincere, serious, faithful involvement, commitment, energy, enthusiasm, endorsement to your goals must be there. A climate that is you are going to create must be collaborate, cooperate. That's going to be one thing. That's how it is. You are going to help me, I am going to help you. Each for all and all for each. And the standards of excellence we are going to set and achieve, we work towards them. Support, we are going to get it. External support, we do look forward to. We want to get recognition, identification, acknowledgement, adoration, admiration, appreciation. Everything is going to be getting, you are going to be getting it. Many tasks are too complex that they cannot be performed by individuals independently in isolation. Okay, as an island unto yourself, we can't become. So that's how it is. Teams are going to create synergy. That is the whole is greater than the parts. I told you the other day for yesterday. That's how it is going to be. Sum of efforts of the team far greater than the sum of the individual effort. Put all the subtotals, you put them together, total them up. The grand total is much more grandiose total. That is because of synergy. Now, people must work together to put those empowered individuals into teams, create extraordinary efforts on performance. That's how it is. A number of body interventions are specifically designed to improve team performance. For example, team building exercises. You are going to get hold of the right kind of people. For example, Mahatma Gandhi University, the Vice Chancellor, the day I am going to be appointed Vice Chancellor, first thing that I am going to do is I am going to get the right people together. Not for one day, for 3 full years. Not for gupping and gossiping. Not for sipping coffee and tea. Not for the group photograph. Not for a selfie. We are going to work together. We are going to work on the problems. If you don't have the problem, you have opportunities. Work for them. Come up with a strategy. Viable, enviable, available resources. You are going to come up with that and you implement it enthusiastically, with energy, with involvement, with dedication, with application, with total loyalty. You are going to doing it. And later on, you see, as a Vice Chancellor, have you got the right control of examinations, right academic council director, right heads of the departments, right chairpersons, right deans, right principals? You do that. And you reflect, you are going to compare the actuals, the reality, the ground reality with whatever you contemplated, whatever you envisioned, what you planned for, whatever you originally scheduled, budgeted, or planned for. That's how it is. Next one. That's it. One more. There is a person by the McGregor. Day before yesterday, I was talking about Douglas McGregor's celebrated textbook called The Human Side of Enterprise. The Theory X and Theory Y. So that gentleman has given us some more characteristic hallmarks of a well-functioning, effective group, efficacious group, successful group. What is it? The atmosphere that you are going to create, that you build, that you design, that you conceptualize, and the keep in the organization is going to be relaxed, comfortable, cordial, affable, social, informal. What more you want? The group task is going to be well understood. I told you, goal clarity, role clarity, work assignment clarity. Acceptance is there, understanding is there, involvement is there, and dedication is there. All the members, they listen to each other. We listen attentively, we listen projectively, we listen continuously, not what we say, peripheral, superficial, cosmetic way. No, there's a lot of task relevant discussion. When we discuss, we don't discuss about Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, Sandalwood, etc. We are going to discuss about not heroes and heroines. We are all going to discuss always about task relevant discussion, task related, problem centric. That's how it is. Issue based. That's how it is. We are not going to individuals, personalities. We only talk about what we do. That's how it is. We express both our feelings and ideas. So this, I felt bad, I felt insulted, I felt downgraded, degraded, deflated. When you said like that, I felt offended. Kullam kulda boldo, freely, fairly, fully, frankly, fearlessly, in a friendly atmosphere. You say it out. Speak to, speak up, speak through others' feelings and ideas. Okay? Now, the group is going to be always aware about self-consciousness of your own operation. You're not blind to yourself. You always keep your antennas up. You always keep your eyes wide open. You always keep your ears to the ground. That's how it is. Decisions are always going to be based not on flipping a coin. You don't toss a coin. No, never. You don't put it to voting. No, you never do it. It's based on consensus. Either you convince me, I convince you. Your logic is correct or my logic is correct. That's how it is going to be. It is not going to be brute majority that's going to rule the roost. The majority vote that is going to take you through. That's how it is. When actions are decided upon, clear assignments are made and accepted by the members. Once a strategy, a vision, a mission, strategy, tactical ploys, goals, objectives, projections, predictions, forecasts, budgets, rules, regulations, guidelines, guideposts, route map, finger posts, sign posts, everything is going to be there. Nitty-gritty. Everything is going to be there. Now you are going to accept them once it is going to decide it. So this is how it is going to be. There's no question of going back. That is going to become your felt obligation, not simply your duty or an order which is going to be given to you by the boss. It is going to be a felt obligation. This is my baby. It's not I. We is going to be. Next one, quickly. No. That's all. Some more. This beautifully brought out by some other gentleman, I don't know the person, is going to be characteristic some more. Clear purpose. It's a clear purpose. Vision to mission to goal to task to role to action plan. Plan your act and act your plan. When you are doing it, by failing to plan, you're planning to fail. You are going to have a clear purpose, a focused purpose. Okay, it's going to be no duvidha. That's what is called as it's going to unequivocally. We call it as unequivocally. In undivided attention is going to be coming unequivocally when the vision itself is defined. It's going to be common vision, vibrant and coherent and consistent. Not only that, it is not your individual dream cannot be the vision. A group of people's vision cannot be the organizational vision. It's called shared vision. What is the shared? Shared among all the people. Everybody should be involved in that. And that's how. And informality. We are not going to boss over things. So that's the trample upon your toes. No, you are going to play your game. I am going to play my game. I don't step on others' feet. So that informality is going to be there. I'm not saying casualness. It is not casualness, recklessness, negligence, lack of diligence. It's a comfortable you feel, relaxed you feel as a team player, as a team builder, as a team player. At the end of the day, you are going to, you go gaga. That is the new raga, new saga that you are going to embark yourself upon, that you take up. Listening, as I told you, effective listening. Such techniques are going to be questioning takes place, paraphrasing takes place, mirroring takes place, summarizing takes place. So that's how effective listening is going to be made possible. One more thing, agreements, disagreements, common in life, even husband and wife, we do fight. That does not mean we are not going to live together. We are going for divorce. Civilized manner, dignity, decency, demeanor. Okay. Parliamentary way, we are going to debate, discuss, negotiate, and consult, and team is going to be comfortable with this agreement and we don't avoid people. Anjan nahi maar sakte, nanjan nahi marte. Avoid people, smooth over, suppress the conflict, keep everything under the carpet. You don't do it, but at the same time, in a civilized, dignified, decent manner, we are going to respecting each other's sentiments, feelings, emotions. We are going to do that. So the decision making is not majority based, consensual. It's consensual. That is substantial, 90%, like formula through thorough discussion, thorough deliberation, thorough consultation, thorough involvement, all these things, and avoidance of voting, because you don't say Jilla ile, aha, we have won, you have lost. We will never ever downgrade anybody, degrade anybody, insult anybody, deflate anybody. After all, we are going to work together. That's how it is. We're all triumphant winners. Nobody is a defensive loser. That's how it is. And leadership is going to be, if at 2020 matches now, cricket match is going on. There's going to be no one captain. Officially, there's only one captain. But I am going to consider somebody else, even though he's a 10th player, 11th player, because he has some ideas. That's how it is. Sachin Tendulkar, a number of test matches, he was not the leader. He was not the captain. But still, he was given a chance to really offer his suggestions. That's how it is. They were giving a patient hearing to whatever he wanted to say. A bowler is given a say, not because he's the vice captain, not because of the captain, because it's all shared leadership. We share to care. We care to share. Each for all for each. Everyone is going to be sharing in effective leadership behavior. That's how it is. The team is going to pay attention to developing outside relationships. That's it. That is it. Tell me your network. I'll tell you the network. So by not being in a position to deal with external stakeholders, by not being a boundary spanner, you're expected to, you're commissioned to, you're required to deal with the publics, inside publics, outside publics, internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, on a continuous basis. That's what is called external relations. That's how it is. Style diversity. If you are going to see Rahul Dravid's, Rohit Sharma's 50s, 3, 4, the reason for so many 50s he made. The wagon wheel is going to tell you that he is not hitting the shot in the same direction, in the same manner. That's how it is going to be. Diversity in shots. The line, the length, the direction that you are going to be using for bowling is as important as the way you are going to choose to use a given ball. Not always going to be a loose ball. He is going to talk about the diversity in your batting style, fielding style, bowling style. So the style diversity, you as a team leader, you are going to have in your repertoire, a rich reservoir, many styles. So to different folks, different strokes, different situations, different styles you have to adopt. That's how it is going to be, because there's no one single best style. That's how it is. Lastly, self-assessment. A successful team, an effective team, a productive team is never going to fail in doing a periodic assessment, examination of its own activities. So midterm review, for example, that's how you do it. Every quarter, every month, every week, you pause for a while and you are going to have Simhavalokanam. Hindsight is important, just as you're going to have a foresight. Even the king of the jungle, the lion is going to stop for a while. It's going to look back as to whether there is going to be any danger which is going to be there, lurking somewhere. That's how it is. You have to do that. Next one. Sorry, I think next one. Now let me tell you, sir, you are talking so many things, but now briefly, I thought, say there are dozens and dozens of chapters that are there in a textbook. I taught this for years together, decades together. Now I thought conditions that you have to ensure before you are going to expect your OD efforts, OD programs, OD interventions, OD strategies to give you optimal result, not suboptimal. Suboptimal, Hindi word, suboptimal. How do you do it? There are many things that can go wrong in the OD program. Sometimes which you never heard about, which you never thought through, which you never anticipated. Anything can happen, because that's how the world is. Our lives are becoming increasingly stressful, strainful, painful, conflictful, and also full of uncertainties, vicissitudes. We don't know which one is going to happen where. Did we anticipate tsunami? No. Sune to nahi iska pehle. Similarly, have you heard about COVID? No, not before 2 years. So that's how it is. In most cases, these problems can be avoided or rectified through careful planning. That's how it is. So I am giving it to you 11 conditions so that tomorrow, when you are going to be in charge of, as a trainer, as a consultant, as a HR manager, or a personal officer, when you want to do something, you see to it that optimal success demands, calls for, as a precondition, a preliminary, some of these things. What are they? Next one. Next one, 27. Yeah. First and foremost, take it from me. Take it from me. They're all sacrosanct. These 11 are sacrosanct. They're very sacred. Top managers, top management members. That is, when you say top management, I'm referring to that element, that organ, those positions of the organization that are responsible primarily for the growth, the development, the expansion, the diversity, the diversification, the tone, the tune, the mood, the mode of the organization, the color of it, the complexion of it. So that is good, more important. Such a people alone should be aware that there is a problem. Without there being a problem which is identified, an identified problem, you cannot get going. The starting point is going to be, as I told you, dozen problems I told you. The slide, productivity, morale, motivation, satisfaction, conflict, communicate, all this. Second thing, a behavioral science consultant has to be there. He must be brought to the picture to diagnose the problem, because when you are going to feel indisposed, you have to have the predisposition to go to a doctor, blood test, urine test, scanning, CT scan, all those things. Same is the case. You need somebody who is going to diagnose, who is going to prognose, later, plan, later. So that fellow, the initial top level management support is a must. Unambivalent support, top management driven initiatives are involved. Involvement is required there, not just money, even emotional investment is required. Yeah, few departments or units are going to give serious attention to an OD program that does not have the backing of higher management. If higher management, if a vice chancellor, every MDP, EDP, FDP that you are going to be conducting seminar, conference, colloquium, symposium, that is happening within Mahatma Gandhi University. Very first day, the vice chancellor is going to be, he is going to be invited. He is the person who is going to be the inaugural lecturer, because we want his support. We want his support. Other things do not go as anticipated. That's how it is. So we dutifully, and beautifully, of course, we acknowledge the contribution, the support of people like yesterday, I think Vice Chancellor himself was profusely thanking Professor Vidyadhar Reddy. So he has been our mentor, guide, philosopher, etc. So that's something. There are some people. No, action research must be used. I don't know, is it technical, but too technical. It's a philosophical orientation and ideological orientation. That action should be followed by research. Research should be followed by action. Action means intervention. Research means your research. Kya hua, kab hua, kaisa hua, all those things. The process must start slowly and gain momentum. Don't kickstart your car and take it to fourth gear, no, or fifth gear. I have got five. Nowadays, all of you are getting cars with 5 gears. You don't put it first to second to third to fourth. Then, of course, it's a highway. You are going to go my way in the 5th gear. That's how it is. Slowly, you should gain momentum. You are not really going to start with a warp speed in a mission critical mode. OD intervention. That's how it is going to be. So you achieve some success in one department, next department, be it MIS or be it going to be electronic voting machines or maybe any of these politicians programs and benefit programs. Next one, please. 28, I think. The organ members should be educated. First of all, without ever involving them, by sensitizing them, telling them as to what you are doing, why you are doing, the rationale, so to say, the justification, the logic behind, the theme behind any intervention, you are duty bound to inform them, educate them, sensitize them, take them into confidence before you are doing it. That's how it is. See, farm laws, people say that you have never taken all the stakeholders adequately, and hence, farm laws are good, khatarnak hai, very, very efficacious, but the only thing is you failed miserably in communicating them successfully to the farmers. So, relationship with current good man practices should be made clear. So, it is a good practice. It is a current practice. It is going to the one which is going to keep us in good stead. Everybody else is doing in the world. So, we should also do it. That type of realization should be there. So, you should complement COMPLE. And if you successfully have to complement the PLI, all the people don't oppose what they're doing. So the OD effort should involve the personnel people without establishment, without personnel administration, Without HRD department, chief personal officer, you are not going to, without the support from the personnel and administration department of Mahatma Gandhi University, programs of this kind cannot get started because we need support. Not without you cannot even support the word support. So you is so very much important. Teaching staff, not in staff, both employees, everybody is important. Next one, anything else is there? One more. Next, okay. The personnel must build on what they learn. So you learn something, you build on that. That's how it is going to be. You play for Ranji Trophy, you play gully cricket, then you go to Delhi, then you go overseas. So you are going to learn continuously, and you are going to become an international cricketer. Same the case with regard to this also. The OD must be carefully monitored. So you need to have oversight. Oversight, positive say. Oversight means there's going to be foresight. Foresight has got one more meaning, oversight. Oversight has got negative meaning also. Okay. That's it. Insight, hindsight, foresight. Not a site in Jubilee Hills or Banjara Hills. The OD effort in order to be truly successful must be monitored. I told you this. Next one. 30th one. Hey. So this is all about, I think it's going on. Now, what I do is go back to first slide. Go to 14 families. Go. Go to 17th slide. Because we have got few minutes time left. 17, 17. 17. Yeah. Now, a word would be in order. To give you a bird's eye view of all the 14 major families about intervention, there are 100. But now I'm only going to reduce them to classes, groups, types, kinds, so to say, and they are 14 in number. First one, as the name itself tells you, when you are going to take up an intervention, very basic, rudimentary, fundamental, very basic. That is going to be called diagnostic activity. Much before you're talking about 5-star hospitals, multi-specialty hospital, super specialty hospital. For the success of these things, there is going to be one laboratory. We call it as VUCA Diagnostic Center. Diagnostic activities, a blood test, urine test, stool test, all that. Same thing, X-ray. Same the case. Before you are going to know what to do, where to do, how to do, with whom to do, yield, field, intent, content, actors, practice, context, content, you are going to know the facts, ground realities. That is called as diagnostic activities. You are going to conduct a motivational survey, a moral survey, job satisfaction survey, something like that. Or maybe we call it as qualitative research. We call it a depth interview. Important people, talk to them. That's going to be called as diagnostic. Any activity which is going to diagnose and identify the root cause. Okay, causal analysis, we call it research, not casual. So you can't do it. You can't go for an operation, first opinion, second opinion. You are going to have all the test reports ready. Then only you are going to call it as COVID-19. So it takes time. So the next one, team building activity. That is, how are you going to put teamwork in work teams? How do you build a team? It's going to deliver the goods. Anything which is designed, structured to enhance, to improve, to better the effectiveness of the operations of the teams is going to be called a team building activities. There are two people called as Rosenzweig and Bell. These are the two people. Bell, you must have heard about it. French and Bell. These are the people. They are the globe trotters. They go to Fortune 500 companies. They conduct training programs, and such sessions are going to be called as team building sessions. They only say if you have succeeded. The notions of success are like this. That is called as you bring the right people together for a large block of uninterrupted time to work on problems or opportunities that you yourself have identified. Nobody is going to tell you that you have fever. You have to identify your body temperature is gone up. Then you go to the doctor. That is how you have to take the initiative. And next, intergroup activities. Whenever you find department, division, sections, intergroups, they're bound to be a disagreement, some sort of a friction, rupture, misunderstanding, communication gap, communication breakdown, lack of cooperation, coordination. So then collaboration, what you do, you are going to improve the effectiveness of these groups by talking to them individually, separately and also together. That's how it is. Then, of course, education. What all we have done, 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus PG, MPhil, PhD, all education. Training, yes, this is also going to be intervention. So designed to improve individual skills and abilities and knowledge. You have to ask for ask. A, attitude. S, skills. And K, knowledge. As an MBA student, even as an MBA teacher. So that's how it is. You ask for the asks. Now, techno-structural, wherever you are going to talk about engineering aspects, mechanical aspects, machine focus aspect, technological aspect, it's going to be called that. Such things are going to be called a technology, a new technology. From labor intensive to capital intensive, robo technology, and converging technologies, very many number. No, IoT or artificial intelligence, deep. Now we are going to talk about these things, 3D printing, and lot of things. All this. Then when you are going to be introducing these new technologies, then that is also going to be called intervention. Automatically, when the ATMs were never there. When I came to Hyderabad 60s and 70s and 80s and 80s, ATMs were not there. Now ATMs have come. Now these apps were not there, like Paytm or RuPay or PhonePay or so these are all. Accordingly, the other mechanisms have to undergo a change because we need to build the synchronization, adaptation, attunement, alignment, balancing, timing among the task, structure, people, process, technology, culture, climate, and the subtlety. When you touch the structure, technology sometimes may have to be new. When you touch the technology structure, may have to do a change. I think let me one more slide and then we'll stop. One more slide. Next one, 18th one. This last slide, and then that's all. Now, process consultation. As I told you, when you view the happenings, the activities, the tasks, the transactions, the operations that take place within an organization, now you see them as, view them as, understand them as, appreciate them as, diagnose them as, prognose something to them as a process. What's the process? Step by step, a stage by stage, a phase by phase, a series of activities that are going to be necessary for producing something as an output, as an impact, a result. That's it. So you try to do that. Communication as a process, as a model. Leadership as a model, as a process. L is equal to, brackets begin, I'll stop in 1 minute. Small l, small f, small s, close the brackets, and underscript T. That is, leadership is a process which involves the leader, the follower, the situation at a given point of time, something like that. Your marketing mix P card, P dot, P dot, P, comma. That is product, price, place, promotion. Same in the case. Grid OD, you told you, manage the grid. Robert Blake and James Mountain. James Mountain, she's a lady. Not many people know she's a lady. James Mountain is a lady. So these people have come up with 11919955. 19, that's grid order. So you are going to take all the organizational members, supervisors, readers, executives, functionaries, officers from left hand bottom corner to right hand top corner. 9. That's how it is. Team management. That's going to be grid ordering. Third party, 2 people fight, 2 depart. Then you intervene and then you resolve the conflict. That's going to be called as, you are going to conduct it in such a manner. You're a skilled consultant. You are going to resolve, dissolve, solve the interpersonal conflict that is going to be there. That is also going to be one. Last but one, coaching, counseling, that is also going to be. Life planning, career planning. I think I'm left with 19. 2 more are there. Next one, 19. I thought this is last slide. Right now, that's it. Lastly, 12th, 13th, 14th, planning and goal setting. These are goal setting. Goal getting is not possible unless you are going to have goal setting and goal getting, problem solving, decision making, discrepancies if you need to achieve objective that you are going to doing it. Everything, manpower planning, human resource planning, taking the organization from the current manpower position to desired manpower. Everything is planning. All budget exercises are planning. Let me tell you, under planning, you are going to have coming up with, I'll stop here, coming up with a vision document, a mission statement, strategy formulation, tactical ploys that you're going to come up with, goals, objectives, then forecast, projections, the predictions, and then policies, then program, then all these things are going to be coming under planning. So strategic management, highest level planning is strategic management, long range planning. Lastly, as I told you, OT. I'm not referring to any liquor brand, OT, the old tavern. So it's going organization transformation activities that are going to involve a large scale, systemic change, systematic change, a fundamental change and a basic change, which is going to change the shape, the color, the contours, the composition, the constituent parts. Everything is going to change. That is going to be called as OT. Thank you very much. Questions, most welcome. I love to answer questions. That's all from my side. Well, that's all from my side. About this, I should learn this. Sharing it.
You have any
Yes.
questions?
Yes.
You have any questions, and the participants are welcome.
Raise their hand, the chat box. You can relay the question. You can unmute yourself and can talk. I can listen to you. I've got a Dell laptop using for the first time. Old generation professor, degenerated professor. I want to use desktop without audio, without video. Anyway, let me learn this.
Yeah, dear participants, any questions?
They are hungry.
Yes,
If
sir.
you
Yes, sir.
force them to put a question, they feel angry.
Yeah.
Food for thought over. Food for tummy.
Yeah. So thank you very much. So the session was really very informative. We are very fortunate to have you as a speaker and resource person for the today's session. Today you spoke about as a part of the session what are the multiple challenges and threats that organization face today in the today's VUCA world. Sir also spoke about the challenges being faced by the individuals in today's situation of layoffs and cutoffs. Old jobs are destroyed at an accelerating pace and many people are losing their jobs. Sir also spoke about how OD teaches people that how to solve the problems faced by the people. You spoke about issues related to human side and how OD focuses on such issues and how OD channelizes the members to find the solutions for the pressing challenges. You also spoke about how the OD strategies play a vital role in present society. You spoke about how OD can improve the individuals and teams in realizing their potential. How the Microsoft, Cisco, Dell, Hyundai, Toyota, Wipro, ONGC, and Infosys companies focus on different OD interventions. And you spoke about the purpose and importance of OD interventions and what are the basic characteristics for a successful teams. So the session was really informative. So we have got a lot of information how the OD plays a vital role in today's society. Thank you very much, sir,
Thank you.
for such an informative session.
So I don't need to wait till Friday. Unburden myself. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we break for the lunch and we will be come back by 2:30 for the session 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.